has a question. Question, anybody?
Well,
Ma'am?
okay, what would you do if you were me? I presented my technology at MIT last year and also with the military. They said it was, MIT said it was the world's first and only global real-time location system with passive RFID tags that could also prevent counterfeit of anything from coming into the US and the EU. So I, like you, invested everything I had, including my pension, everything, and now I'm getting down to the wire, but we need money to do the, it's going to need special scanners. Our regular RFID scanners will not.
Do you have a customer that's paying you money?
No.
So I would totally focus on getting one customer. Every business that I have had, I've really not even, I've sold I've had my customer before I even, a lot of times, built out the technology. So.
But if you don't have the 1.2 or 1.6 million to do a proof of concept, then you're stuck between the sword and the wall.
Well, yeah, but that's where you get try to get somebody to pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, you're selling air, an idea and stuff, and so you just got to find that one customer that has the need that is so much that it's worth $1.6 million.
It's got a patent.
Yeah, I mean, the whole process of being in business is somebody's paying you to do what you're doing, and having that one customer is going to start that feedback loop, which I think is really where that starts taking your business. You get one customer, and then two, and then next thing you know, you got 10 customers all giving you feedback, and it's going to, now you're getting pulled along. I mean, in most businesses, I haven't mentioned this, but most of the businesses that I've got into, I think lack of knowledge of a specific industry when I start studying it is a big advantage, because I have no preconceived notions about it. And so many times I hear people go, "Oh, we tried that." When? "Oh, it was 20 years ago and it didn't work." But if you come to it with a clean slate, you're observing things as they are today, not as they were a long time ago. So get that customer in there and ask them questions, and use the technology to solve a problem. It's a difficult place to have a technology in search of a problem.
Well, actually, the VA wanted something something like that to use on a stent. And of course, it can be miniaturized into a thread with the technology that's already there. And so that would be a customer, but cutting through the red tape,
Yeah, no, I don't sell to the government.
No.
I was in the government.
I think the only way that I'm going to get going is to start with the EU first, because I presented the stuff and immediately they said, apply for a 16 million euro grant. The only thing is I got to come up with a contribution of 20 to 25%.
All right, sir, you have a question?
Yeah. So you alluded to some of the medical technologies that you're working with right now. So I know you might not be able to expand upon that too much, but maybe share with us maybe some of the observations of the industry that that you're kind of there with, and what you're seeing in the trends.
Well, what cable companies have done up to now is they have tried to work with the providers to deliver solutions, and unless there's some type of government incentive or mandate, Medicare or Medicaid paying for it, there's no business model in it. It's all about money. I mean, I don't want to sound jaded and everything. I'm sure there's some doctors out there that actually care about their patients, but it's the conversations I've been in, for the most part, it's you're looking at the healthcare system is how do I make a buck? I don't want to deliver that unless how am I going to get paid? And doctors don't make as much as they used to, and the whole perverse thing about how there's primary care people are going away because they can't make anything. It's everybody's becoming a specialist and figuring out a way they can make more money out of the system. So I think working, approaching the industry, and this sounds bad, but the best way to improve healthcare is to reduce cost. And so approach the industry, the problem I'm solving is to reduce cost. because I think that's going to allow more and more people to be cared for earlier, and the whole focus on improving healthcare should be all about cost. But that, you can't say that politically, you know.
There's a question back here, ma'am? Yes.
Yes. What marketing strategy did you use to get your business on the map?
You want to repeat that for people?
Yeah, what marketing strategy did I use to get the business on the map? So there's different marketing strategies for every business. Again, it goes back to studying it. So I own a bicycle manufacturing company. The marketing strategy we used to get that off the ground was basically, we knew everybody. We started the bicycle company in 2002. What was every bicycle manufacturing company doing in 2002 to start their bike company? What do you think? What was their marketing strategy?
Website.
Right, website. So everybody was going direct. All right, and there's another thing I believe is do the opposite of what you think you should do. It's like, anybody see the Seinfeld episode where George was most successful when he did the opposite? So I want to do the opposite, you know. And so when everybody's trying to do one thing, really, I started thinking, I said, well, what is the problem that we're trying to solve here? And the problem is all of these dealers are really mad because their companies, their vendors are all going direct, and they're coming in, riding the bike, test driving it, and then going and buying it off the internet. And they hated that. So I said, basically, we're going to come up with a program where based on the amount of commitment you give us, we're going to draw a circle, like either 25 or 50 miles around you, and we're going to advertise on the internet, but anybody that comes within that circle, and this is your protected territory, we'll send them to your place, and even if they won't drive to your location, if they're within that 50 miles, we will ship them the bike and we will send you the profit without you ever even meeting the customer. And they couldn't believe that. They're like, this is, and that was how we launched. And as a result, we got like 35 dealers, and we gave 40% margins, you know, right off the bat, and we operated very cheaply. But that marketing strategy, you know, basically attacked a problem that, because we knew the industry, something was going to happen. Another great story of marketing, going back to a problem, is I started my neighbor, when I first moved here, had a company that he sold tchotchkes and distributed them to pharmaceutical companies. And he had Bayer and Johnson & Johnson and IDEC and Biogen and all these companies. And in 2002, they came out with a law, like a pharma law, that said you're not allowed to give more than $50 to any one doctor, and you have to keep track of everything that's going on. And literally, his business went from $3 million to $500,000 overnight a year. And so I said, well, this is a great opportunity. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, why don't we write software that allows everybody to track and give the software away for free, and you know, to these big companies. And then what'll end up happening was we'll be ahead and they'll do all their buying from us. And the company within a year went back to $3 million. And somebody, because of that software, a competitor just came in and bought it. So that was, you know, going against the grain and becoming noticeable. You know, and even my website development company, my slogan was, we do bad websites. and I remember pitching to Delta Airlines, and you remember back in like 1996 where websites were all about these colorful graphics and having all these guys with ponytails do all the great graphics and stuff, and we didn't have that. So I said, let's just go the other direction. Let's make a website that functionally works, but make it look as bad as possible. So we pitched Delta Airlines, and you know, we just came in after, like, you know, Shiat Day, the advertising agency, came in and pitched us with all these great designers, and we had like what looked like crayon graphics up, but it all worked. It was like you could actually make a reservation on it. And I said, look, pick whatever graphics you want, and we'll do the back end. And that strategy ended up working. So,
Okay. One more question, and then you can continue amongst yourselves. Sir?
So you've been a tech entrepreneur on the internet, and you also started working on the corporate side. What are your views on net neutrality from both sides? And follow up, do you believe Netflix should be paying Comcast?
well, that's a tough one. So, I mean, as an entrepreneur, I like net neutrality. As a cable company, I don't. But, you know, I think ultimately, you know,
Is that the way it's going to be, do you think?
No, I think in the long run you will pay for a class of service because you actually have to. And if you look at the types of industries that the network companies are going to start delivering, like healthcare, you want to pay, if you have to make a choice between delivering a movie and delivering somebody's EKG, you have to be able to prioritize that traffic, or else you don't have a service that you can guarantee. And I think it's anti-competitive. You should be able to have classes of service, tiers based on the criticality of that service that you're offering. It's just ultimately, I think what I feel doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.